Kody's statement about his lack of attraction to Christine seems to be a matter of contention among viewers of the show. It's clear to many that Christine is unquestionably beautiful, and it's suggested that Kody may have used concepts of attraction and intimacy to exert control over her. Some even believe he became obsessed with expressing animosity toward her, which is quite different from his apparent apathy towards Meri. The observation is made that Kody seemed more upset about the end of his marriage with Christine than his relationship with Janelle. Some viewers think Kody used insults to try to gain control over Christine and question whether this might be a manipulation tactic. There's also speculation that Kody may be rewriting history about his relationships with Janelle and Christine as a response to feeling rejected by them. The theory is put forth that Robyn's jealousy of Christine may have played a significant role in this dynamic. Kody's fixation on Christine not fully accepting Robyn for years is noted, even though Christine seemed to make an effort to address her issues and build a relationship with Robyn. The viewer believes that Janelle never got too invested in Robyn, which could have been worse for Christine and her kids, as they were often singled out for not accepting Robyn. The viewer suggests that if Robyn was initially jealous of Christine, it would make sense for Kody to be most attracted to Christine, and Robyn would feel threatened. Additionally, it's mentioned that Kody has displayed a strong ego and that Christine's status as polygamist royalty may have made her particularly attractive to him for what she could supply to his ego. Shifting to a different topic, Janelle's recent trip to Hawaii is discussed. The viewer is pleasantly surprised to see a side of Janelle that they describe as a secret wild child while she enjoys a trip with her friends, who are members of a heavy metal band called Butcher Babies. It's pointed out that Janelle has mentioned her love for metal and rock music on the show before. The viewer observes that Robyn has been judgmental about this aspect of Janelle in the past, noting the inconsistency in her behavior, where she sometimes portrays herself as the cool, hip young wife and at other times acts like the judgmental definer of the family culture. Finally, the discussion touches on Kody's decisions regarding moving the family from Vegas to Flagstaff. Some viewers find it frustrating to watch his meltdowns, especially when he suggests they could have just stayed in Vegas in the houses they custom-built for the family. The viewer agrees with the perspective that Kody may have been running from something in Vegas, possibly the prying eyes of the 3 original wives and their children. They point out the contradiction in how Kody and Robyn talked about putting down roots in Vegas while also claiming they never planned to stay there. In conclusion, the viewer expresses their frustration with the perceived dishonesty of the family and their frequent inconsistencies in their statements and actions. They provide a comprehensive analysis of Kody's relationships and the dynamics within the family, offering their own interpretations and speculations based on their observations. Add it and I actually feel like he is kind of a utopian who does not see reality in general. He saw bone signs with their houses in Vegas appreciating but was too stupid to go nearly with a better cost of living. Eventually, I am positive that Robyn was freaking out at the study of her oldest moving down from her for counsel, so all of a unforeseen there was an imperative need to move in season 14. Robyn's oldest daughter's panics. Kody is oblivious as to the quantum of trauma he has put these kiddies through. He has to carry her into her bedroom because her fear attacks are so bad. 4 to 5 week he acts like nothing is wrong, and when it comes to the healthcare needs of his children, he doesn't watch if it will bring a song or vexation his life in any way. I suspect he'd only learn about colorful health issues so he could argue with the Croakers. I am sure the only reason Dayton entered surgery for his eye was because Robyn wanted it. The only reason Isabel entered surgery for her chine was because Christine raised the plutocrat and took her in. Malignancy of Kody when it comes to forestallment and treatment. Kody is an handicap to his children's health if a medical professional is demanded, and I am shocked Kody did not tell Zell to go to the chiropractor to fix her back like he did when Mykelti fell off that steed. Kody's entire healthcare gospel is put some Windex on it. I do not suppose Robyn is any better, and to be honest, I suppose she has all she can say when it comes to her Kody's Kody is inept in every way as a parent, but I also suppose his opinion means little to nothing when it comes to Robyn and her kiddies. I have not watched every occasion, but it does not feel like they do anything to help her. Does she see a therapist? Does she take drug? Does she meditate? Has there been anything away from carrying her around? On the other hand, Gwendoline, I'm watching her YouTube videos. She seems to always have a reason for her pater. Just like no way calling him out. It just bothers me because her pater was emotionally and mentally vituperative and she defenses it, but her brother just cut him off. Accessible, but why one and not the other? I could be wrong, so surely tell me if I am, and I suppose Gwendoline is sorrowfully immature. While I believe that each person is entitled to their passions about their life jests, Gwendoline gives her mama zero grace for managing to successfully raise 12 kiddies under the circumstances of polygamy and poverty. At times all parents make miscalculations, and utmost parents are able of admitting that not Kody, not Robyn, so the idea that she's combing Christine over the coals is silly and illogical. Hopefully eventually she will develop and realize she's lucky she had Christine. And I suppose her dad gives her plutocrat and uses that as a trouble. Just my humble opinion, he does not want her at his house or around Robyn and her kiddies, but he wants her to keep her mouth shut about him. The Browns win the prize for the most dysfunctional family. Also, Janelle's station during My Kelty marriage planning. Watching the season of My Kelty marriage planning, Janelle's station is actually making me frenetic. She is extremely hypercritical of everything. First, Maddie would ever feel encroached upon if My Kelty had her marriage 2 months after hers. I am sorry, but the day after a marriage is when everything girding it's done. There's no quantum of time you need to stay for another big event to be. Secondly, the whole cutlet and chess piece thing. Easily both My Kelty and Tony wanted to add particular effects to their marriage. They had no plans for it to be general. Why is it so weird to have small, different flavors of cutlet? I suppose it's smart that you get a variety of galettes and everybody gets what they want. Third, her being weirded out by the piatas. I set up it funny and unique. Yes, it isn't the most common thing to do at marriages, but it is not commodity insane and freaky. It's way more normal than having a gutted deer cutlet. She'd always cringe at anything artistic that Tony and My Kelty wanted to add incipiently. Her constant pecking about it being cold. Yes, I fully understand that Maddie was pregnant, but there was no way that My Kelty would designedly put her in peril. She indeed said she could wear a fleece during the form she kept constantly reminding her, and she wouldn't stop. If it were me, I would have demurred her out of the dressing room. I was so frustrated seeing the parents complaining about the cold wave. You were the bones who wanted a December marriage, and My Kelty said like 5 times she wanted a marriage in a domain, so they should not be surprised that it's cold or act miserable when they wanted it in the first place. This is Michael's marriage. They should have smelled it up and zip it on all the complaining. Perhaps an unpopular opinion, but I suppose indeed before Robyn there was some unstable treatment in the family, and I suppose Janelle was fully fine with it and perhaps indeed pushed it because her kiddies served compared to Christine's and Chanel sure had a lot to say about sisters getting married within 2 months of each other when she tried to get wedded on her sister's birthday when it's family law that anniversaries trump birthdays, so Mary would have to spend her own birthday knowing Kody and Janelle were deforming, and I felt so bad for my Kelty. They made so numerous negotiations, and the parents still complained she should have done exactly what she wanted. There was no winning them over changing the date of the marriage. Gets me the most. There were so numerous strong passions about it being so close to Maddie's marriage. Janelle has no room to talk about bad marriage dates. She nearly got married on Mary's birthday, and also only changed it to be the day after. Maybe if she had come at it from a place of participating, her jests and the fallout of that, my Kelty would have been more humane. I get that a lot of it's because they just did not like Tony and did not like the idea of my Kelty getting wedded, and they played effects up for the show, but it would have made for much better television for the sisters to bond over their marriage planning. Still, now I'm going to bandy Dayton and the relinquishment. I am rewatching old occurrences, and I was wondering if anyone additional agrees that Dayton was really equivocal about subscribing those papers. Also, what occasion is it that Mary yells at all the kiddies for picking on Robyn's kiddies? He surely was not giving enthusiastic concurrence to the relinquishment. The part one set up most uncomfortable, though, was the name change. I fully understand wanting to make the name you go by part of your legal name, but I set up it's so cringeworthy that Soin wanted to abolish all traces of her partner from Dayton's birth instrument. He was surely not passing unmitigated happiness when he got the news that his father had given concurrence for the relinquishment when Robyn blazoned her gestation with her youthful. Those are times it would be fully normal for a person to have a blend of feelings, or indeed honestly negative passions, at least for a while, and that relinquishment was one of the most disturbing effects about the series. While I do suppose that all the mothers were approaching it in good faith, it does not feel as though it was the stylish thing for all the children. Christine's happiness especially sounded genuine. Indeed, Janelle was invested in making the relinquishment be after the divorce and remarriage were done. I don't suppose these people really looked into the reality that indeed step-parent abdications can involve trauma. On the other hand, I see another post in defense of Gwendoline and all her siblings. Commodity to keep in mind. She was raised by multiple parents, not just Kody, who exploited their nonage and sequestration. For plutocrat Gwen and the other children served as a stipend for their parents. Why should anyone be surprised if some of the children try to make a buck off of reclaiming their narrative? We are also seeing a largely sanitized interpretation. This mindset of Christine being a queen and Kody being a villain is exorbitantly simplistic. All 5 parents failed their children and are responsible for the dysfunction. I am veritably happy Christine was suitable to find happiness, but just because she did not automatically heal the hurt her conduct or quiescence caused her children. Parent-child connections are complicated under the stylish of circumstances. It's entirely possible that Gwen is dissatisfied in all sets of parents, but is tired of seeing Christine get a pass for her participation, while Kody gets all the blame. Everyone processes trauma else just because some of the children appeared to be suitable to continue to have a healthy relationship with one, some, or all the parents does not negate another Stocks complicated connections with them. Also, every child had a different experience and was also treated or had a different part in this complicated family unit. Illustration: Aspen's jests are different than Gwen's. One was parentified and the other was queer and living with undiagnosed autism. They grew up in the same terrain but had extensively different jests. All of the parents failed their children in colorful ways. The OG3 wives were willing actors, and that's just families in general. The maturity of parents are just trying they're stylish to give their children the stylish life possible. Yes, the show had its numerous downsides, but without it, do you suppose all of them would have ended up going to council and living in similar nice homes? The plutocrat side of effects would have extensively bettered the quality of their lives and the effects they were suitable to do. We need to stop with the narrative that Christine is perfect and Kody is terrible. Both are humans and neither is perfect, and Christine at least I feel did her stylish. Kody, I suppose, did what he could, and also I love it when Mary says Robyn does not text me or call me, and when she says if you want me there for the kiddies stuff you have to communicate with me, else I will not come. Fucking as she's on a roll for 2 whole times during Corona contagion. Robyn did not reach out to Mary. Knowing she was alone, she followed every single bone of their stupid rules, and it got her nowhere. At last, Kody Brown is sickening. I am watching season 16 occasion 9 where Gabriel is trying to talk to his pater Kody, and it's literally sickening me to watch how up Kody is. Gabriel communicates his studies and passions at an advanced position than Kody is indeed able of. Its sad gamble.